Alright, so welcome back to Below Coding. In today's video, it's part 3 of Twitter clone. And in today, we're going to build the register page right here that we'll be able to register with GitHub and Google. And alright, so let's get started. So here in VS Code, so I have installed some dependency. So first one is React Router for enable routing and stuff. And for the front-end UI, I'm using Material UI. So this two package right here. And also I installed the React Particle JS, which enable us to have some excuse me, the effects right here at the background. And you can get all of this image from my GitHub. And we have 3 images, is the Google and GitHub. All right, so let's get started. First we need to do the routing. Is the register route right here is going to available for the unauthenticated user. So this is going to be a public route. So for that, I'm going to close this one. And I'm going to create a folder called route. That in route right here, we're going to create a file called routes.js. This is for main route. And the other file is going to be a public route. Public dot route.js. And for this, OFC is the shortcut public route, and then we're going to use route from the React router. That this one, it's gonna render the right here. It's gonna pass. This is from the props, and then I think we need to import this one. So import route from React router down, and the rest here come from here. Great. So then we need to render. Okay. All right. So excuse me. So we're gonna render. So we need to check. We need to pass an auth right here as a prop. So we need to check if the auth is true. This one is going to be equal to this one. Let me okay. So if the auth here is true, so I mean like if we are authenticate, if we are not authenticate, so which means we're going to render the component. So where's this component? This component is the prop as well that we pass in. So component, and it's this component right here. So then I need to delete this one and doing this one. Else, if it's okay, so I mean it's not, if it's authenticate, so we're gonna redirect them to the home page /home. So whenever you access to this route, if we check, we pass the auth prop right here. If it's not authenticated, it's going to render the component, and if it's authenticated, it's going to render us to home. Then we're going to copy and paste this one more for the protected route. New file and protected route. Protected route.js. And we paste this one, and we just change this protected route. I think it should be no s. It's better. And for this one, we just change is like if it authenticate, and then it's going to render the component, and else we redirect in here. So for that, in here we can do. See, and then we're gonna do with the routers. So first we need to import browsers. So let's see, from React router DOMs. So we can import route switch right here, and then also we do browser router right here, but we can do this as the routers. And then we can swap this one here, and then we need to put the switch so we know where it's a route. It's matched the route. Then we can pass the protected route, protect route, and then we pass for this one equal to, let's say, home, and the component for this one is going to be home, which right now we not created yet. And then we need to maybe I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, so and then we can like public route, and the path is going to be register, and then the component is going to be equal to register page register. Okay, then we need to create this two page right here. So for that, I'm going to, inside source, I'm create a folder called page, and in page right here I'm going to create home.js. so I'm on C, so I'm just h1 right here, just home, and also a new file for register.js. I'm OIC, and it's gonna be h1 register. Okay, now we go back into route. We need to import this one. So for that, I forgot to name this one home register. And then we can import home right here, and also register right here as well. Oh no, register. Okay, perfect. So what is some problem? Okay, because we did not use this one, that should be okay. And then we need to put this one inside our home page, our app. So right now it's nothing. So we need to put this one inside the app.js. Instead of here, we can pass the route. Route. I think it's route.js right here, not the route from React Router DOMs. And okay. Let's see what's okay. We need to close this one. So now here's nothing because the default route we not implemented yet. So we need to implement this one. So for that, we're going to the route right here. We can just implement. We can go into public route. We can copy this one. And what we can do is to we need to check the auth. So the auth is going to pass from here. That if the auth is true, so let's say if the auth here is true, so we either it's not true, we're gonna redirect them to the register, path register. So if we go back here, it should be the register part, and then we render the register component. And for this one, we need to do is to do exact. Okay, but we need to put the path for this one. So the path is going to be this path. And all right, every time we go into here, we should redirect to register, and we need to do this one exact path, because if we don't put exact, it will, because it's going to check the first path right here, and then it's match, it's going to return. And then we need to put exact, like exact match like this, unless it's exact like the slash, and then it's going to render this one. So now if we the auth is full, it's going to return this one, which is okay, which is what we wanted to show. All right, so now we want to do some styling a little bit, so we can use this one. This is baseline from the Material UI. It's gonna change the font size and then the like the box things like that. All right, so now what we need to do next is to implement the register right here, which is UI. But before doing so, I can go and cross right here, and then we commit git add git commit tada dash m, tada, so say finish routing. Okay. So next we need to build a UI for the register. So in this register right here, what we can do, it's going to, this one is we have this, it's gonna be space flex. This is one component, and this is just the image. And for that, we're gonna have some, okay, we're gonna class name equal to classes dot root. And I think, okay, great. So for this root, we're gonna style. It's going to be height is gonna be 100 VH, and the width and the background. And the background is for now I forgot. So I can use this one to pick the background, and which is really nice. And then this background is going to be this one. Now if we go back to register, which is right here, which is fine. If we remove this one right here. Okay, nice. Next we need to put the component, this two component right here. So it's gonna be a div, and then this one is gonna be a div as well. Or we can just put an image. And then the source is going to be from the, so I'm gonna move this one down a little bit so we can have some more space. So the source is going to be, because I put inside the public right here, you can access the asset slash remote team.svg. So that is the file name, and then you can do here it's that like you know, just the blah blah, or you can leave it blank. And then if we go back, we should see the image display or not. Okay, let's see what's going on. So what's going remote team, not remote dream. Right, so right here, which is fine, but what I recommend to do is to do not do this. Sometimes it's not working. The best way to do, you can go to process.env.public URL, and then you can plus the whatever that we in the previous, and then add more slash right here. So it's gonna work the same way. It's the same. Then we just change this one to the width only 500 pixel. Now, okay, which is great. Next, we need to implement this one right here. So first, it's gonna have the h1 of the register, and then we going to have the box right here. Okay, so we're gonna have one more div. So it's gonna like, and then we're gonna have some typography, a text, a typography of a text. So for that, I'm gonna copy the mouse next here, so you can pass this one anything you want. And this one is class name of description. I call classes dot dsc. Oh, no. Okay. And then in here, I'm gonna call this one as a class name of container. And then we're gonna have one div is like a box. So I'm gonna call this one a class name of classes dot box. So for box of that, so we're gonna have some image. So we're gonna have images. So what we can do in here, let's have some images and the text. So I think what we can do is to put images in here. Okay, good. And then we going to source of this one is going to be the same way, process.env.file.ul plus slash asset slash github.png, and t here is equal to github. GitHub, and then we're gonna have some text. So I'm gonna do typography right here. It's gonna be GitHub. And for now, if we go back, you should see switches right here, and we should set the width this one only to 60 pixel and the height only equal to 60 pixel as well. And now we're gonna copy and paste this one more back, and this one is gonna be Google. So you can maybe create this in a file and generate it, like looping stuff, but this one, there's only 2 of this, so I think it's okay with this one. So with Google, okay. So now it's time for stylings. So first we're gonna separate these 2 components together, and for that we're going to go in the root, and we're gonna display as a flex. And then nothing effect yet, but we're gonna be flex. Justify content, center, and then align item center. So for that, it's going to be here, and which is perfect. So if you want to be space around in here, instead you can do like space around, but it's kind of like a space too far, which is if you want to do something, have something like this, which is okay. And then next what we need to do is to alright, so and then next we need to style of the here. So I'm gonna give a class name of this one, so class names, the titles, and for the title I'm going to give it the font size, text colors to white, and then same thing for DSC, color is going to be FF as well. Perfect. And for this one, I'm going to do font size of 1.2 RAM. I think it's okay. Okay, I'm going to give it 1.3 RAM. Perfect. And this, now we cannot see this one yet, so okay. So for that, we're going to build the box right here. The class. This one is not container like this. So class is dot container. And I'm going to copy this one, and okay, there's only one. Okay, so then what we need to do is to typography of GitHub right here. So I'm going to class name of this one, class this dot text, and for the text we can do the color white, and now we can see this one. Perfect. So and then we're gonna do font size. It's gonna be 1 RAM as well. 1 RAM only. Or maybe let's see this one. It's big. So I'm gonna give it 1.5, 1.4 RAM. Okay, perfect. Now we do letter spacings, 1 pixel. Okay, good. So now what I need to do is to add a class tag to the Google right here. Classes.text. And there you go. So next what we need to do is to make the container. Oops, sorry. So so we want the box here to be displayed as flex. So box. We want sorry, what we want to do is to display as flex. And there you go. And we go justify content. Going to be centers and align items center. So yeah, or maybe not. This one, that should be okay. Oh, align item, then justify content should be, it should be okay. And then for this, we're gonna have a container, and the container in here, it's gonna be, let me see. So there's gonna be 2 of this one and the box. Okay, so we need to put the color for the each box, each container. So I'm gonna this one paste, and then we're gonna have some background for you guys. And if we go back, should be see right here. And okay, so we're gonna have some margins around this one. So we could do margins bottoms, seams dot spacings 2. Perfect. And we need to put this one into the middle. So the way we do that is to take a line center. I think maybe not. Or maybe we can do justify content center. Okay, and I think what we can do in here, instead of that, oh, I see, we can do like this. We can not justify any content center, but we want to do like row of this one to 1. And then not justify content center, no. And for that, I can wrap this one with another div, with the div right here, I think. And then we're gonna do class name of the text container. And about the text right here, what we could do is to flow, flow, flex, grow, not flex flow of 1. And there you go. And we do text align center. Okay, this I think that should okay. It's kind of it's feel like it is really big. So we want to get the width of the parents, or the width of this one is going to be only 300 pixels only. So there you go. And then we're gonna wrap this one for Google as well. And now there you have it. So we have this one, and then we need to, for this container, that should be okay, and we need to do some border radius, radius, and it's gonna be 10 pixel. How do I spell it right? Okay, perfect. So now we need to do some way to hover this one. So I think tag I'm gonna give it 2 pixels. Okay, so we need to wait that we hover on this guy. So, and then what we need transition. So okay, so when we hover, so what we're gonna do is to background color. It's going to be hashtag 7 D73 F9, and then we hover and we can see, but we want a little bit transition. So So to do transition in Material UI, what you have to do is to do like this. Transition, and then you're going to do seams dot transitions dot create. So what we wanted to do is, the transition is the background color. And then we need to set some durations, and we need to get the seam transitions dot durations dot, I'm gonna give it with the shortest, and we have to come out this one, or wait, yeah. And now if we hover, there you go. So we need, and then what we need to do next is to set the cursor for this one is to be pointer for each bar. So cursors, pointer, so that we can point at this one. Perfect. Now everything is good. So what we need to do next, I think maybe we don't have to do space around. Just let me comment this one. So maybe we can just go to center, and then we can do the container or the image. So we have the container, and what we want to do, we can have some margins right. Margins right to be seams dot spacing of 2. So yeah. Right, so next we're going to add this bubble floating around right here. So for that, we're going to use React Particle, and you can go ahead and install this one, and you can read more on this one on how to do it. So now I'm going to copy and paste what I have written, and I will explain this one. So you need to import particle in, and then we have the param here, and then with particle is number. So the number here is gonna be like how many bubble like in here. So I'm gonna set 50, and then if I change this to 100, so probably as you can see it's a clutter right here, and we're gonna do some styling with this one, and the value is gonna be, this is like the size. You can see it's really big. It's right here. Cool. And the shape is gonna be cycle, and there's a lot of shapes. You can take a look at this one. So for next, we need to do some styling to this canvas right here. So what we need to do is to put the position of this one to be absolute. And then you have to give the width of this one, it's gonna be 100 pixels. And now it's better, as you can see. And also the height of this one is gonna be 100 pixels as well. And but it's kind of really come in front, so we can't do is what z index this one -1, and let me see. And then while it's gone, I think what I should do, maybe we can remove this guy, and then we just give the background right here. Perfect. And we can change the style back to 2 and only 50. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much is like this one. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. So we already built the UI, and in the next video we're going to do the authentication with GitHub and Google. Alright, so see you in the next video. Peace.